This video was produced to provide a better awareness of the role played by aircraft in the control of brush fires in urban wildland interface areas, with special focus on the multi-engine large air tankers. With the expansion of homes and businesses into the wildland areas around urban centers, the potential for a large brush fire to move into populated areas is increasing daily. Should this occur, an urban fire department can quickly become overrun and taxed to the limit in attempting to control this type of fire using normal resources and tactics.
The 1993 fire season in and around Phoenix has been nothing short of phenomenal. The growth from last year and all the rain we had has left a compaction factor of about 6 inches below the new growth, which is up around 24 inches in the mountain preserves. Looking at it, the tonnage per acre may be up as high as 8 to 10 tons per acre of fuel. It's an incredible fuel loading for the desert. We're now experiencing low humidities down in the single digits, and our temperatures are, of course, in the triple digits. As the Four Corners high sets in and we start getting the monsoon flow, we'll get our dry lightning in. We'll also when the Santa Ana set up the double low over California, we'll also have the high winds here in Arizona. Those factors alone are guaranteed to keep us busy this season.
One of the tools that can help even the odds in this battle is tactical firefighting aircraft. Long used in forest and wildland fires, these aircraft are proven valuable resources to the incident commander and used as an element of the overall fire control plan. To better understand the use of these tactical options, one must first understand the basic types, uses, and capabilities of each aircraft. The smallest firefighting aircraft are rotor wing or helicopters. They provide a highly maneuverable platform for the application of water or Class A foam on a fire. The IC must have a landing zone set up with a water supply and a crew to fill the helicopter's water tank or bucket. In addition, the helicopter company will send a fuel truck to the landing zone to support the helicopter's operation. The helicopter also works well in mop-up operations, providing pinpoint accurate drops. All helicopters drop their entire load at one time. The next level of aircraft are the single-engine air tankers. These aircraft are modified agricultural crop dusters that can fly close in and drop their 500-plus gallon loads of water or Class A foam in one or multiple passes over the fire. These aircraft must return to a fixed base to refill after each drop. In the final portion of this tape, we will examine the top level in the firefighting aircraft arsenal, the multi-engine or heavy air tankers. These large converted military aircraft can hold up to 3,000 gallons of fire-retardant slurry or water that can be dropped in a single pass or multiple passes over an incident. The use of heavy air tankers should involve 3 levels. They are an air attack control officer in an aircraft over the incident, responsible for the control of all aircraft over the fire and communication with the incident commander.
As an air attack supervisor, we fly the second level up, rotation around the fire, work as basically an air traffic controller, making sure that everybody keeps good separation, keep separation between the air tankers, helicopters on the incident, coordinating with news media that may come into the area, working with people on the ground to make sure that we get the retardant applied in the proper place, the proper manner, and the proper coverage level for suppression of the fire. We also do a lot of coordinating back and forth between us and the air center to make sure we got the proper spacing of the aircraft from the air tanker base. Do a lot of message relaying, working a number of different frequencies at times. The air tanker pilots and the lead plane pilots have got quite a bit on their hands in selecting the area that they're going to drop and making sure that they get that done. And I can keep some of the radio traffic away from them so they don't have to worry about what the people on the ground are talking about and so on and so forth. I can filter a lot of information out that they don't necessarily need to have. The air attack aircraft can also be used as an observation platform to help the ground fireman select the best place to put his fire line or the best place to move his equipment to protect some kind of an exposure, be it a structure or just get around to an area where he can get his piece of equipment in to attack a brush fire more readily, easier. And then coordinate all that with the air group as they come in, and from a safety standpoint, to make sure that the people on the ground know that the air tanker is inbound, so that we don't have somebody getting hit with a load of retardant.
The lead plane, which pre-flies the drop area ahead of the tanker for safety and then monitors the drop for effectiveness.
I go in and make some practice runs, try to determine the best direction, the best avenue, what the vegetation is. I'm looking for aerial hazards, ground hazards, people on the ground working the fire, anything like that. I'm usually the lowest of anybody out there, 150 feet or so, trying to determine the types of fuels we have, fire intensity, so we can arrive at a coverage level of retardant that we want to apply.
Right in about right here. And you can bend right a little bit, you too. Okay, Bravo 9, we'll go get you some more.
What we're talking about is safety, efficiency, and economy. And we're talking about a lot of dollars per minute on these big air tankers. We want to get them in, get them out as best we can, and be effective about it.
And the heavy air tanker, which will actually make the drop.
When we arrive at the scene, I'll make one orbit around the fire to kind of size it up, the way any other fireman sizes up a fire. I'm going to look for exposures as a priority, in other words, houses or property or people, and then the best way to fight the fire. The next thing I'm going to look at is, once I determine where the lead plane has shown us that we need to make the drop, can I safely get in there and do that? Is it a safe way to get in? Is it a safe way to get out of that spot to make the drop? Because our primary job is to put this retardant on that fire at the spot where the ground fireman wants it put. The retardants that we carry will be a semi-permanent line. They'll buy you much more time than water will, obviously, because they'll stay there. And they coat the fuels and impede the fire from burning the fuels when the fire gets there. The air program works when we can hit a fire small, get there, get some retardant around it, get some people there to put it out, and everybody goes home.
The retardant dropped from these aircraft is a combination of water, ammonium polyphosphate, which is a commonly used agricultural fertilizer, minor amounts of a clay thickener, a corrosion inhibitor, and colorant. The retardant's primary purpose is to coat the ground cover and slow or stop the spread of fire. Retardant can also be used in a direct attack on the fire. The retardant is loaded onto the aircraft at tanker bases by specially trained ground crews who can fill a 3,000-gallon tanker at a rate of 500 gallons a minute. As an example, the Interagency Air Center at Phoenix Sky Harbor can load 2 tankers from a 100,000-gallon on-site retardant supply if needed. This base is fully manned from 0800 hours to 1900 hours, 7 days a week during the summer fire season. Upon request, they will launch the lead plane and a 3,000-gallon air tanker in 15 minutes. Retardant is dropped from the aircraft by a computer-controlled 8-door system. Each one of the 8 doors can be dropped independently or in any combination up to the full load. Coverage levels are also computer controlled, from a light coverage, level 1, which equals 1 gallon of retardant for each 100 square foot area, to a level 6 coverage, which equals 6 gallons of retardant for each 100 square foot area. An example of the use of one 3,000 gallon load would be a 40-foot wide continuous line of retardant, 3/4 of a mile long, dropped in a single pass. The equipment based at Phoenix includes lead plane Bravo 9, an OV-10 with pilot, and tanker 00, a P-3A with a pilot and co-pilot. There are 12 air tankers based in Arizona and New Mexico during the summer fire season: Prescott, Winslow, Grand Canyon, Fort Huachuca, Silver City, Alamogordo, and Albuquerque. The heavy air tankers can play a critical role in the control of urban interface wildfires if they're called early and used effectively with other aircraft and ground forces in a coordinated fire control plan.